Hi there, Jeff here from the Wetsuit Centre, talking to you today about rip curl accessories for winter 2011 into 2012. Thought we'd do a bit of a video because we have a large range available at the Wetsuit Centre. The reason being, really impressed with the flash dry products that Rip Curl brought out this year, and the sort of approach to the construction of the gloves is quite unique for this year, so it's definitely worth a video to have a look at kind of what's going on in the accessories and give you an idea of the benefits of it. As you can see, the range is pretty expensive. Basically, you've got everything you could really need. You've got the 3mm glove, starts off as a 5-finger glove, going through into the claw, 3-finger glove, into the mitten, and with the boots you've got the round toe, which is sort of like a 7mm, really thick if you want something nice and warm, and then you've also got the hidden split toe, which is a 5mm. And then you've got something sort of like the lower end products, which is the Dawn Patrol gloves and boots, which they do in adults and child sizes as well. The principal benefit, or the principal feature, or unique selling point of all the flash bomb or flash dry products is basically the lining, which you may or may not have heard about. I'll turn the glove inside out for you. Basically, it's this sort of back-combed polypro sort of fleecy material. Basically, what this does, it allows the material inside the glove to actually dry out in 15 minutes. That's the big boast from Rip Curl, and basically what that means is that it's a non-absorbent material, and this sort of like furry part here basically wicks the water away from the glove and dries it out as well. So it pulls the moisture out of the glove and allows it to dry really quickly. Okay, so it's a really innovative product or innovative material which Rip Curl are using this year, which is something you're likely to see on a lot of the suits across the industry in sort of like the next sort of 3 or 4 years. But at the moment it's exclusive to Rip Curl, and as you can see it's very flurry, which makes it very warm as well. So in terms of the heat retention within the glove or boot or sock or anything like that, it's really high with this sort of fleecy material. So the principal benefit is that you can turn it inside out, let it to hang, and leave it to hang and let it dry out in 15 minutes, and you don't have to put on some wetsuit boots, which is horrible for your second surf or for the day after. And that's the same with the gloves as well. But another big sort of like plus point to it is the fact that it's really fluffy and nice and warm, so when you slip your hand into it, it feels fantastic and nice and warm. With all the sort of like glove products that you've got here, you can see that they've got the smooth skin the whole way around. Makes them very robust, resistant to the wind, and basically gets that nice textured grip, so you don't have any sort of compromise in terms of grip and handling. Depending on your sort of like tolerance to the cold, it goes right up to the 7.5. Now, interesting thing about these sort of accessories, especially the gloves this year, is the fact that you've got like 3 2s, 5 3s and everything like that, which sounds a bit confusing because it's like a wetsuit, but essentially there's 2 thicknesses of neoprene. The reason they've done that is you've got the thinner part around the wrist. One thing that was common with sort of wetsuit gloves is that you used to have a wetsuit, the actual wrist on it was quite short because it's really chunky. So if you've got a 5mm running up your wrist, it's really hard to create a fat seal. And so once you've actually got your wetsuit going over the top of that as well, you've then essentially got 8 or 9mm of neoprene around your wrist, which is really restrictive, really chunky, and doesn't create a very good seal. So what they've done is they've used the thinner neoprene, where you don't really need warmth around your wrist because you're doubled up with your wetsuit, and brought that right down the wrist to create a really good seal. As you can see, when you actually slip it on, it comes right up your wrist, which I think is fantastic, but it's nice and thin. So what will happen is that comes right up your wrist, and then your suit will come over here and create a really good seal. So you shouldn't actually get any water coming into the glove. So that's a really nice touch by Rip Curl, just to use that thinner part of neoprene. I've been waiting for someone to do that for quite a while, so it's a nice touch. That combined with the sort of fleecy polypro is a really nice feeling glove. You've got the taping across all the seams as well, just runs across here, which make them a very robust glove. Very unusual that we have any problems with Rip Curl gloves, so yeah, it's definitely a reliable product that should last you quite a while. So that's the 3-2, and that's the sort of like the flash dry going on inside the gloves. And as I say, you can go up to the 7.5 if you want a mitt. Basically, obviously that just keeps all your fingers separate from one another. Really chunky, so that's for people that really feel the cold, or if you're up in the north coast or in Scotland, Ireland, those sort of places, then you might want to be using one of these bad boys. Okay, then you've got the 3-finger glove, and that's obviously just between the 2. Moving on to the boots, you've then got the same principle with the boots. Quick drying, flash dry material inside. You can imagine how that feels when you slip on your boot. Really toasty, nice and warm, fleecy material. And then you've obviously got the standard features like the over-the-top Velcro strap just to sort of give you that security in the boot, and around the ankle as well, just to seal it off. You've got the thumb loop basically to get it on and off with. It's a really robust, well-made boot, following on from the F-bomb series but adding the flash bomb material, and that comes right around the sides. It's really robust. These are going to last you a long time, these boots, and be seriously warm. And then just for a sort of slightly thinner boot to give you a bit more feel on the sole, you've then got the 5mm with the hidden split toe, but essentially the same features. And then the cheaper end of the series, you've got the Dawn Patrol, which are a fantastic glove for £20. Cheaper for the grommets, cheaper for the kids. And this is a little grommets one, tiny. I'm not going to try this one on. And basically it's just a smooth skin, textured neoprene all the way over. Really grippy, really straightforward. You get the half moon cuff on it as well. So that basically means that it closes off the suit, closes off the glove, creates a really good seal and stops water getting inside. So it's going to be great for the kids, or just for a standard glove if you don't want to have to spend too much money, which is usually the people that don't feel the cold too badly. And then that crosses over into the Dawn Patrol boots. Again, this is like the junior series, and it's a fantastic boot for under 20 quid for the groms and for 20 quid for the adults. And basically just straightforward, glued and blind stitched, gum sole, really nice sort of open. And one thing that's good for the grommets as well is that the actual neck of the ankle of the boot opens up as well, so easy to get on and off, critically taped to make sure it doesn't fall apart. You still get the thumb loop, and that's all for under 20 quid, so fantastic boot as well. Going back to the Flash Bomb series, or Flash Dry series, one thing that was worth mentioning is just the little cuff inside the glove itself. So just where the hand meets your wrist, basically they just line it with this little bit of smoothskin, which is like a seal basically to stop any water running into the glove and keeps it completely dry. And that goes through the whole series, basically, which is another little finishing feature just to make sure that the gloves are really top end and stop any water getting inside, or minimise the potential for that happening. So essentially that's the full accessory range for Rip Curl for 2011 to 2012. A really expansive and impressive range for this coming winter.